Samoa in the blue, Japan in the reds. No margin for error, no second chances tonight.
Sack is good.
On a baking hot evening in Toulouse. Who can keep their cool? It's Japan and Manu Samoa doing battle in the Rugby World Cup once again. Naoto Saito in from the start after Yutaka Nagare's injury. Finds the warm embrace of Theo McFarland, who is so adept in the air. And Samoa have an early penalty.
Yeah, it's come in the side there and loosen the ball, but nice first touch for Naoto Saito, of course, the scrum half for Japan. It's 11 days where you think he's not going to start this match, and only about an hour ago we got confirmation that he was in for the start in the 9 jersey.
What are you doing?
And that can be really pivotal in how you play a game, but conversely, just to talk about the discipline of Japan throughout this tournament, they've only been giving away 6 penalties a game. That was less than a minute, less than 30 seconds, and they gave away potentially point scoring, but this is a behemoth of a kick.
It's going to be Alai D'Angelo Leali'ifano making his first Rugby World Cup start. Born in Auckland to a proud Samoan family. As Jamie Joseph, a dual Japanese and New Zealand international, watches on, was he who oversaw that incredible run to the quarters in 2019. He's revered in Japan, but this is his last tournament before returning to New Zealand with the Highlanders. Alai D'Angelo Leali'ifano plucks his driver from his bag. This is a biggie. Has it got the legs? No. Just dips agonizingly beneath the Japanese crossbar. But the upshot will nonetheless be a Samoan line-out. 20 metres inside the Japanese half.
So I like that, Jamie. They wanted to punish them early on. The return kick means they have possession where they would have had it had they just gone down the sideline. So still their possession. Of course, they were denied a losing bonus point against Argentina with that last-minute kick by Sanchez.
Okay, show me clear halfback.
But possession, all important. Staggeringly, they only had 58 carries in their last game, Samoa, so they'll be looking to try and get a bit of ball in hand. That is an almighty thump. Not quite with the Gareth Rees power and finesse on that kick, unfortunately.
Well, actually, look how quickly the ball is spinning as it just falls short of the bar. He just hasn't got all his power through the middle of that. A couple more yards, and that's the first 3 points.
First Samoan line-out's a good one from Lam to Fritz Lee, the captain. And Samoa look to take on this Japanese pack up front. It's an area where they might feel they've got the physical advantage. And it continues to inch closer to the 22. Jonathan Taumateni waits patiently. Still his forwards trundle. Still Japan suck players in. Now they move it. Dunua Manu can't quite escape the clutches of Himeno. Taumateni, Lee comes battering round the corner. This is front foot stuff from Samoa. Leali'ifano went for the kick. So Jordan Taufua couldn't take it.
And use it.
And the ball ricochets back for Japan. And a ripple of Japanese approval simmers around the stadium.
Hold on.
Duncan Paia'aua. His yellow carded a minute into the loss to Argentina a fortnight ago. Taumateni, Por Alo Emile, Stade Francais juggernaut. He's captain the Parisian club. Paia'aua, what a pass that is to Taufua. Silky hands. Serala Lam.
And away. Ball's available.
Taumateni, Leali'ifano fizzes that pass across towards McFarland, who did very well to grapple it under control. Here's Manu stepping, stuttering, and then a bit of obstruction being run in front of him.
In front of the ball carrier. Obstruction.
The first Samoan attack.
A little bit of miscommunication from Samoa as they went wide there. They came out the back. The outside man had come forward. A little bit of frustration there from Mapusua. Penalty.
Coach Valvasamanaya Silala Mapusua, a legend of Samoan rugby. Actually spent 5 years of a stellar playing career in Japan. A couple of League One clubs. And now in charge of the Pacific Islanders.
Yeah, you'll have a good feeling about this Japanese side. want to do it. This is as the ball goes wide, so there's no one to pass to. They've all come forward too far.
Line is yours.
And it's an obstruction call, so the player in front has prevented the Japanese player from making a tackle.
And Samoa being forced into an early change as well. Then Sale limping gingerly to the touchline. The basketball international withdrawn. And the hulking figure of Brian Alain-Ouessi, who plays his club rugby in the south of France with Toulon, is on, wearing jersey 19. So having lost player in the warm-up, Chris Vui, they're now down to their third and fourth choice locks. They do win the line out back to Manu Samoa. Leali'ifano torpedoes Samoa clear. Japan, typically of Japan, want the tempo high, they want to play. Romano Lemeki hoofs it skywards. It's awkward for Taufua. He can't take it. Ben Lam's got his big mitts on it, but Michael Leach's mitts are a bit bigger. Salto stabs the kick in behind. Duncan Paia'aua. And Japan through Nakamura and Lemeki chasing quickly.
Hold it. Okay.
It will be their line outs. Just short of halfway. Good clearance kick from Duncan Paia'aua.
Just showing his complete range of skills there. Puts a smile on the coach's face. Beautiful 50-meter kick right from back up at his own line.
But stay there.
But that will be a second shift in the second row. That affects the line out here because they've been spent all week working with the starting second rows. Japan lost their last line. Now let's keep an eye on this one.
Pressure on the throw from Shota Horia. It's a slick one. And making it first receiver.
Away.
Saito. Nakamura plays it on to Kazuki Himeno, the captain. Prepare for Japan. Ji-won Gu, the Korean-born tight head prop.
Leave it now.
Part of a very experienced front row with Horia and Keita Inagaki. This is Peter Labuskachny.
No hands.
16 tackles he made against England. Matsuda sends it high. Waiting under it is Lam, and he has time to call the mark.
Well, just a meter too far, obviously inside his own 22. He has the right to call a free catch or a mark, and he can clear the lines as he does well.
Well, Japan looking to use the boot a lot. A slight disruption. The replacements had to be made. His calf didn't look strong before the game, certainly not quite held up from it. Yeah. Line-out's all important, but the kicking game for Japan, they're actually coming at the second lowest kick to pass. So around about 4 passes, they look to kick it. Different tactic, and it'll challenge the Samoans in a different way.
Yet another disruption here. There's some blood on the Japanese prop, so that'll get cleaned up before they continue.
It's interesting talking about the kicking, Rob. That's an area Jamie Joseph was pleased with in the England match a couple of weeks ago. He said his kicking strategy surprised England. Is it surprising you as well?
I think it is, because you think about how Japan play typically. It's ball in hand, it's very high number of passes, it's moving the ball laterally. It was part of their success in 2019. They actually phrased it about playing low under Eddie Jones's guys. So I think when they look at how to develop their game and style, yes, they like to move the ball. Their tempo's very high. Conversely, it's the second oldest squad in the World Cup for Samoa. They look to try and tire them out. The size difference is quite substantial. Just pitch side here, you can really see how mountainous these Samoan forwards are.
The moonlights.
Clear gap.
Bathing Stade de Toulouse in a warm autumnal glow. Ji-won Gu is patched up. The Japanese tight head prop. And Shota Horia finds Michael Leach, a 35-year-old veteran in the air. Labuskachny to Himeno. Himeno hit hard but rides the tackle of Silala Lam.
Taken back.
And again, Naoto Saito goes to the skies, and this one drops outside the 22. Lam rides it well, and look at the power of Ben Lam. That's a hooker, he's splatted out of the way. Fritz Lee burrowing forth. Some seriously dynamic specimens in this Samoan pack. Rivera's left foot drops one on Romano Lemeki. First test start for nearly 2 years for the 34-year-old fullback. He returns the favour. McFarlane tips it awkwardly. Lemeki pounces on it. And Japan have got plenty of patches of red and white off to the left. And Tomoa Manu up like a shot. Almost made them pay for that risky pass.
Clear attempt to catch.
Wow, end-to-end stuff. Lemeki got the bounce. We know he's a great sevens player. He has a nose for the line. This kick wasn't gathered. He's on it immediately. He does well to roll a couple times just to let his support get there. But then they go out. I like the decision to go wide, Rob. It just doesn't go to hand. Good gamble midfield. It almost paid off.
And it goes against exactly what we saw in the successes of Japan. Huge accuracy usually in their passing and skill set. And they're the moments that really matter. That was the three players overlap on that far side, and it was speculative from Samoa looking to try and close down the space well.
Well, you saw the grimace from Tuamano. He knew that was a 14-pointer. Had he not got it, Japan were going to score, and had he held that pass, it would have been first try to Samoa.
First scrum of the evening. Samoa with a significant weight advantage, as you would expect up front. But it's an area Japan technically is very proficient in. Well, it's a stable platform for Naoto Saito to dart away. Dylan Riley, the centre, drops it onto the toe. An awkward kick. Paia'aua scoops it up, flirting with the touchline. Flipped it infield well to Fritz Lee, who sets the platform. Leali'ifano, Australia's top point scorer at Rugby World Cup 2019. Now returning to his Samoan roots, and Japan again with the quick line out, wanting to play, wanting to get Kotaro Matsushima in possession. Saito for Hurie, cutting inside but felled by Lam. Matsuda, Omeki in the line. Michael Leach of all people lurking in the wide expanses, and Leach takes some stopping. Japan into the Samoan 22 for the first time with ball in hand. Fakatava's carry. Saito getting the forwards, using their bulk, but Samoa using theirs to greater effect. And it's their penalty thanks to Silala Lam.
Yeah, Japan just got off script there for one phase. I meant the ball carrier was exposed, not enough support there. But looks really clinical. There's Leach, he's had enough of the scrum gear. The headgear's off and he's back playing. Here it was. They go wide, not afraid. And there's the big man, Leach. He's a big ball carrier for them. Such a veteran, but this one, just not enough support there. They can't scramble in time. Credit the Samoans, right over the ball and strong.
It's a nephew of his coach, Silala Lam, Vasamanaya Silala Mapusua, cousin of a great former Manu Samoa player and Bristol Bears coach Pat, and cousin of winger Ben as well. It's a fair old rugby clan, the Lambs of Manu Samoa. And Lam is in the thick of things again as Samoa all over halfway.
Only blue on the block floor.
Manu for Leali'ifano. Leali'ifano, one of the athletes, Ed Fido in fact, who's just bumping and bulldozing, but Japan hunt him down, bring him down. Leali'ifano finds Leali'ifano. Japan still at back.
Just lost in the tackle.
Taking some heavy blows, the Japanese defence, but they are refusing to be rocked.
Double knock.
Well, tackling they love to do. Their numbers are really strong in this area. Second most tackles in the tournament. And a massive 86% success rate. You'll need that because Samoa will run at you all day in exactly the same guys. They've got a sidestep named after them. Usually means to try and go through you.
Yeah, looks like a lot of the Japanese players are on their feet. Quite a stingy wall there. Giving up any line breaks here early on.
They're going to be too far to the left. Yeah, that's better. You stay, you got to keep moving.
It's Japan with the only line breaks of the match so far. Michael Leach with one of them. Still scores, only to lose. And neither side can really afford to lose this match. Pool D is so tight in the race for the quarter-finals. Both level on 5 points. Japan shift it wide. Lemeki shows and goes. Scythed down by Manu, but he's not held. He's jinking and jiving, and then he's clattering into Duncan Paia'aua.
Leave.
Japan 4 meters out. Kimano leaves it for Labuskaki.
He played the ball. He played the ball.
Japan land the first blow. of this monumental Pool D match.
We'll clear it. The first player actually played the ball into this player's hands.
We will just check for any obstruction involving Jimeno and Labuskakni, whether the Samoan tacklers...
You're correct. Number 8 catches the ball, and number 7 that takes it off him, and number 7 is behind him.
Yes.
Try is good.
So there's no obstruction. The player in front actually plays the ball.
Correct. Try is good.
Thank you.
So the try will stand. The voice of Timo Marius Jonker
Fritz,
assisting
we've
Jakub
cleared it. The
Paper.
front player actually plays the ball back into the back player, so there's no obstruction. It's like a pass. Thank you.
And there's the explanation. Tries goods. Peter Lapis Labuskakni leading the charge.
Well, Labuskakni got the ball from Jimeno, as you heard there. 5-0, you bet. First try. I just had to check to see the pass hadn't gone forward, the handoff hadn't gone forward. Great support out wide as Japan tested that Samoan defense. Matsudo looked to add the extras. He has been perfect in this Rugby World Cup.
Attempted 10 kicks, slotted 10 kicks.
Both teams, okay?
The Super Mario sisters watch on anxiously.
Let's clear that up if there's a key one. Clear one.
Picture of perfection. Japan 7, Samoa 0.
Yeah, good reward for Japanese. But look how wide they go here. Well-timed pass. And it's actually a missed tackle. Not held, so he can get up on his feet, continue the run. And look at the power here. Takes the hit, but gets back infield. And then the troops arrive. And it is a pass. And the big left arm. Labuskakni gets Japan the lead.
He's captained Japan, as all of the starting back row today have. He's a seriously important player for them. Usually in the defensive side of the game, but he's a good attacking threat too. And his try breaks the deadlock in twos. Saito over the shoulder, asking Paia'aua to come forwards, try to create something for Samoa. They've yet to fire a shot in an attacking sense. Fritz Lee looking to change that. Horia and Inagaki with the tackle. Paia'aua, McFarland, watch for the offload. There it is, and what a take from Leali'ifano. Diving to scoop it off the deck. James Lee, younger brother Jordan, among the substitutes today. Leali'ifano onto Paul Alo-Emile, who was hit hard. Sandwiched by 2 Japanese players. Japan up quickly, that trademark, hot stepping defence. Big line speeds from the Japanese, shutting down the Samoan options. McFarland.
On the ball.
Goodness me, what a picking on Pierce to stop. Former debt collector and basketball international back in Samoa. This time Japanese line speed in defence a bit too quick. Penalty advantage Samoa. Dalmatini sniping. Wrapped up, nothing doing, penalty.
Too early. Thank you for that.
Well, Japan too early off the line there. I was actually quite impressed with their discipline. Tackle after tackle. They know there's going to be big hits coming in, Rob, but they seem really well organized and really energetic in defence, pulling themselves up off the ground.
They do indeed, with the sheer intent of how Samoa run at them they need to be. This is the try we saw from a nice enterprise, a bit of play on the back of Lemeki, looking threatening out wide, but you do fear if Japan don't try and attack the ball at the breakdown, it's going to be a massive number of tackles that are going to have to try and be put in to stop Samoa getting a hold of it. They've got the patience. They will literally run at you all day.
Well, Japan have already made 20, 30 tackles now up on the board in 16 minutes.
Show me number.
So that plays out to a lot by the end of the match.
Samoa starved of possession against Argentina. 39% of the ball in a very attritional game. They lost 19-10, took no points in Pool D. They cannot afford a repeat of that outcome tonight. Line out is loose. Jimeno looks to seize upon it, but he did just lose it on the floor. And Samoa have a reprieve.
Yeah, that was awkward. There was sort of a foot-first slide from the Samoan trying to clean it up. Both sides having initial line-out problems.
All right, yeah.
You get a sense there, both sets of players having a chat with the referee.
And you take that mark.
Michael Piper, vast experience, of course.
And he stays there.
A lawyer from Bloemfontein, not afraid to engage in some
clear gap.
Debate.
It's not your ball. Come on, Owen.
The Mexican wave rolls around Stade de Toulouse. It's been a staple of this Rugby World Cup. The fans adding such noise and colour to what is an incredible sporting occasion. Free kick Samoa.
Scrum again.
And surprise, surprise, they want to scrum
leading
again.
forward and then you lose control.
Japan taking too long and not listening to the commands of the referee in there. So
More
free
control.
kick.
Keep the
Bit
gap.
of a warning. He wants that gap kick before they
Okay,
engage.
yeah, let's go. Let's move.
Well, we know we've got some big old boppers up front, Rob, but have a look at the backs, the weaponry that Samoa can wield from this scrummage.
Yeah, I think you're right there. It's how you utilise them. In Ben Lam, you've got someone who's about 5 kilograms shy of Jonah Lomu's statistics. You need to use him to run at these shorter channels off 10.
Fine.
Get him on the shoulder, and he will make some massive holes.
Samoa, got an enticing nudge and a penalty advantage at scrum time.
Number 2, knee on the ground.
That's what Manu Samoa were looking for.
And then not staying square.
Great power from that Samoan pack. Shoto Horia, guilty of dropping down to his knee in the hooker position. Over 70 caps to his name, but they felt that power there. An interesting decision for the Samoans, and they're going to go to the corner. So obviously, this location is a very kickable kick. They want to keep the pressure on. Go to their lineup.
Massive area for them, this. They're one of only 2 teams to get more than 1 try from a maul. And with this guy in shot, the athleticism and durability of a basketball player, you've got some aerial threats. They need to secure it, bring it down.
Receiver.
And for me, they could get over the line easy here.
6 metres between Manu Samoa and their first points of the evening. There is McFarlane, there's the acrobatic take. Japan sack them all, they drag it down legally before it gets motoring. So Samoa must think again. Alfua goes in to protect.
Some advantage for numbers.
Aloe Mile.
And away.
I've got an advantage here, Samoa. Japan with too many men in the lineouts. And they're going to need that. It's just a free kick.
7-6. 1 minute.
It's a free kick, friends, rather than a penalty if you don't have the same number of players as the attacking team in that lineout.
7-6.
Samoa might fancy another scrum here. Let's see.
Scrum. Okay, they choose a scrum.
And they've chosen it. Yeah, Fritz Lee was in the scrum half position, so it looked like a full line-out. Japan put in the full complement, but the numbers were wrong. They had 1 extra.
Yeah, and the hooker was down on his knees, yeah. Sorry. You had 7. Clear, yeah. Let's go.
I'd like to have seen a tap there, create a maul. Ingenuity from coaching. How hard would that be to stop? You're 5 metres from the try line, you've got a human shield in front of you.
Control.
You need industrial flood defences to keep those boys out from here. 5 metre scrum. Manu Samoa possession.
But Jamie, those 5 penalties for Japan, very uncharacteristic. As Rob said, only 6 average per match so far in the tournament.
Set.
What does Samoa have planned here? Ben Lam switches to the left. What a pass from Dalmatini. It almost caught Lam by surprise, and it goes forwards through the giant winger's paws. And Japan roar. That is a big psychological boost.
Well, it's a high-risk option. I'm not sure it's the planned option. He just reacts at the last minute. Wow, he seemed to be comfortable delivering that pass. Yeah.
I am all over that. No coach in the world should ever criticise that. That is flair, is creativity, and if that came off, you'd be watching it thousands of times online. Unlucky Ben Lam, but my word, that was speculative. I'm a big fan of that movement.
Yeah, but Rob, they're not here to entertain the fans. They're here to beat Japan. Taking the pressure off completely.
Why not do both?
Crouch.
We'll see.
Are you not entertained, Gareth?
Oh, I loved it. I wasn't sure if it was a set move or not. It's hard to tell. It's a high-risk option.
Japanese pack
Same
crumbles.
ball. Both down. Both down. Same ball.
Same scrum again.
Instant collapse.
Japanese line out toil badly against
Same ball.
Steve Borthwick's English set piece,
Okay,
but
let's
Scrum held firm. And as things stand, this is the live table. Japan leading Samoa. If this result stays as it is, Japan would take 4 points, move on to 9. Samoa finishing within 7 would take 1 and move on to 6. And a win for Japan does guarantee England's qualification for the quarter-finals.
Control.
And after that 34-12 loss, they've had 11 days, Japan. So if any club will benefit from that kind of time to do the analysis, it is this Japanese Brave Blossoms team.
Bind. Set.
Japan need an exit strategy. They need a solid scrum. Get that right. And the first carry was made by Yoto Nakamura. However, Samoa steal it back. Samoa have the penalty. Fritz Lee in over the ball, winning his 4th breakdown steal of Rugby World Cup 2023.
Yeah, that one takes him to the top of the table in the jackal. That's getting over the tackler. Again, the set exit move, just a lack of support there from Japan. One player going down, and Fritz Lee, look at the strength. He has to support his own body weight. He's over the ball. He said the very best Rugby World Cup 2023 at the jackal.
Yet to really understand why it's called a jackal, but we go with it.
Super shots coming in from our drone, which is currently hovering above us in the Toulouse skies. D'Angelo Leali'ifano missed from close to 60 meters. This one more like 16. Manu Samoa are on the boards. Japan leads 7-3.
Well, for me, a strange decision to kick that one when they didn't kick the previous one, but it is important they're on the board. And tactically, there seemed to be some little bit of lack of cohesion maybe in the Samoan attack, what they're actually trying to do out here. We saw it with that high-risk pass.
Is that a big win for Japan? Didn't concede a try, held out set piece after set piece. They get away with 3 rather than 5 or 7.
I agree. It's just a statement that we don't think our line or our scrum can get back and get on top of you again.
Steepling kick that is from Lemeki, and it's beautifully taken by Ed Fido. Played all over the world in England and France and
Hold to the back, use it.
the USA as well. The New York club in the MLR. Dalmateni's clearance. And no quick line out this time from Kotaro Matsushima.
Well, Lomano Lemeki transferring his skills from the sevens circuit. Long, high, hanging kickoff where sevens game where restart's so important. And Rob, we've seen any number. A couple on the bench here for Samoa. Great world 7 stars. We've got Motunga and Matavao we may see later on for the Samoan cause.
Yeah, speaking to Coach Mapatsu about this before, about bringing them through. But one word's missing from them at the moment, Samoa. It's confidence. They need it back.
It's Japan with their tails up right now. Labuskakne, the try scorer. Himeno, the only forward to make over 200 metres ball in hand in Rugby World Cup 2019.
Not supporting White.
Japan have milked the Samoan infringements at the breakdown. Oh, Michael Leach is galloping through a little hole, which soon widened when he went through it.
New advantage off your feet.
Another penalty advantage, Japan. And they think about going quickly.
You come with me.
Oh, hang on a minute. Someone's been a bit too cheeky.
That's the second penalty in a row that he's charging at me. You control him. Okay. First one is your number 2 not clearly releasing, and then you're off your feet. And this one, don't kill it.
Lawyerly words from
Gotta be on your feet.
Paper in the ear of the Japanese captain Kazuki Himeno. Bickering will not be tolerated by a referee.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back penalties. Obviously, the Japanese halfback giving him his thoughts there. But interesting, the second penalty, is about 12 meters forward. The first kick would have been a long one. This one is very much more attainable, and they're going for it. Japanese crowd knows their rugby, and they applaud that decision. Look to add 3 more points from the 40, Rob.
Then you've got to be on your own feet. You can't.
They applaud those things, the Japanese crowd, actually. It's fantastic to behold. Certainly, the skill on show. You've got to be so careful in how you talk to referees. Jaco Piper is human. He can be slightly intimidating in those situations where someone's running at him, and you've got to be aware that it's not going to be favourable for you as an outcome. So discipline slightly lacking from Samoa there. That'll disappoint. 62% probability from man who's not yet missed.
A distinctive clutching of thin air. And gaze of steel from Rikia Matsuda. It's the same outcome. 3 more points for Japan, and their 7-point lead is restored.
What a lift for those Japanese forwards too, to know that Matsuda's kicking boots are on. Any indiscretions will be punished with points.
Intensity has been a key word from the Japanese coaching staff this week, maintaining it for 80 minutes. It's been a big work on for them as they win another breakdown penalty.
Pass the ball and just down. Got to try to stay up.
They had that intensity in fits and starts and patches against England.
Try and stay on your feet.
Well in the game, up to
Dominant, but drop
half-time.
right off the ball.
In the second half, that intensity dropped.
There we go.
Japan fell away.
That time it was Ben Lamb falling away. Didn't support his own weight as he arrived at that ruck.
Let's go. Yeah. 6.
Michael Leach again, deft in the Toulouse skies, and this is Daisuke Himeno.
And play it.
Saito clears it over the giant figure of Brian Alaimuesi, who's almost a full foot taller than him. Ben Lamb, speaking of specimens. Luatua, captain of the Bristol Bears, back in southwest England. Balmateni, Paia'aua to Alo Emire.
Tackle release!
Then Samoa met by a wall of stubborn red and white. Up it goes from Paia'aua. Fido here's after it, and it's bouncing kindly for Manu, but it did go forwards off Ed Fido's fingertips.
That's his hand.
And it's just not working for Samoa right now. It's been a familiar story throughout this Rugby World Cup.
Hook is in. Number 2.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's one of these games where there's a real contest in the middle third of the pitch, and the errors are creeping in, and discretions with the ball. Penalty count quite high on both sides. And it's just working its way out, isn't it?
Minutes of the first half remaining. Japan have got some big strike threats from the scrummage. Wataru Matsushima out on the right wing, extreme right. 5 tries. There he is, bottom left of your picture. 5 tries at the World Cup 2019. Nakamura and Riley, 2 dangerous centres. Saito committing men and releasing it wide to Matsuda. This is Riley. Lemeki's in the line. He's got Matsushima with him. He might not need him, Lomano Lemeki. Tumbling into the 22. Another Samoan penalty advantage conceded.
Off the line break, number 9 blue.
Saito misses Inagaki. Matsuda moves it. Matsushima straightening. James Lay drags him down. Japan on the prowl for a second. Matsuda, that's a brilliant pass. And Michael Leach scores.
Number 9.
The Japanese totem bags his team's second try.
Number 9 on the wrong side of the tackle pushes a player from.
And there's more punishment for Samoa.
Senegal.
The concession of a try, compounded by the loss of Jonathan Dalmadeni to the sin bin.
Yeah, it's all good.
And it's all going horribly wrong for Manu Samoa. Japan are picking them apart.
Was just some going wide. They had 4 men lined up. Great decision here for me to not offload the risky pass. He knows he's in behind. Quick roll, and they produce really quick ball. That's where they catch the Samoans offside, and simply out wide. Watch this vision. Beautiful work from Matsuda. finds the open man, the leader of this team, the inspiration. Good finish from him as well, Rob.
That is one of the best balls you'll see to finish off this try. He took it right to the line. It must have been a very last-minute decision not to throw it across the face. Went over the top of the bridge ball, and two right celebrating that. Leach is loitering, as he's been doing all game out wide, but it's their ability to transition from width to width that makes Japan so dangerous with ball in hand.
The architect of the try. Now sizes up the touchline conversion. Oh, that's a cracker. You couldn't kick it any straighter if you had a protractor to measure it. Mario and Luigi approve. Rikiya Matsuda makes it 17-3 Japan, and that face tells the story.
Yeah, the yellow card. Look at the tackle here as he comes in the wrong side, and then he's got a yellow for pushing that player away. It was what the referee said. This is before Leach scores out wide. The fans are loving it. They're so passionate. They come from all over the world.
There's a statue of Michael Leach in a public park in Tokyo. People were queuing up to have their pictures taken with it 4 years ago. And Samoa have been forced into another change. Alai Leali'ifano limping off as Rikiya Matsuda lined up that kick. And Danny Toala has come on to replace him. Some more injury woes for Samoa. More trouble for Manu Samoa. 14 points down, 14 players left on the pitch.
Okay, ball's available. Stop!
The trusty boot of Romano Lemeki clears the ball for Japan.
He's on.
Duncan Paia'aua. Now Samoa would love a response before half-time. Alain Nuese. Oh, off you go, Brian Alain Nuese. March backwards. One of the biggest men on the pitch. Tough tackling Japanese. Snaring these Samoans in their traps. Lee, that's a fabulous pass to Manu. Matsushima can't hold on to him. Lemeki and Labuskachne can. Leali'ifano going into play scrum half with Dalmateni in the sin bin. Here he is again. Toala's first touch for Luatua. Samoa pushing hard. Inflicting a dent or two in this Japanese fringe defence. Alo Emile makes a couple of meters. Alain Nuese. Toala. Oh, squirts free. Oh, McFarlane's at it again. And that's a clever kick from Manu, and then he just stumbles over the Japanese obstacles thrown in his path.
Yeah, no foul play.
He was steeplechasing down the touchline.
Play on.
But it is ruled.
No foul play. The player falls on the ground and he accidentally falls over him or trips over him. No foul play.
Goal line dropout, no foul play confirmed.
Very quickly as legal by Marius Jonker.
Yeah, the Samoan fans thought there was obstruction when this kick went through, but referee's right on top. But there's a great offload. Nice little touch here. It stays on the park. No one really took him out. As he said, more steeplechasing because it rolls into the in goal. It will be a goal line dropout from Japan. And the fans in the stadium, Rob, have just seen that replay. They thought differently.
Well, yeah, quite vocal with that as well. All adds to the atmosphere, but it's Samoa still with the ascendancy here.
Peter McFarlane's a phenomenon. Wrap him up in a straitjacket, tie him in chains, you'll still get a hand free and catch that ball. Fritz Lee, the captain pointing away. Leali'ifano, Paia'aua standing wide, then cutting back inside and bamboozling three Japanese players, and Shota Horie takes a heavy dunk to the face. Luatua picks up the offload. Leali'ifano, Dalfoa. Samoa inside Japanese, 22 again. 39 carries they've made now, only 58 in total against Argentina. Lots of ball, no tries to show for it thus far. Alo Emile. Still they use the heavies. Selalalam and James Lay, all the front row union in on the act. Alo Emile with the flamboyant dummy. Samoa, depleted Samoa, keeping it tight and trusting that their superior power and weight will get the job done. Now they can move it wide. Toala, Paia'aua, floated ball to Ed Fido, who's cutting inside. Still going, Ed Fido, but going illegally.
Check. Yaku, check.
And Marius Jonker spotted something.
Yes.
And he's
Okay,
called
so
on
Yaku, I'm
Piper.
going to show you a head clash. Head contact by number 2.
Red. Okay.
And it is
Right,
that
let me
upright
just
tackle
get the
from
right angles for
Shota
you.
Horia.
We couldn't play through there. The player was on the floor and then he drove himself off his
He
knees.
took a really nasty one to the head here on
doesn't matter.
Paia'aua. There you go.
All right, Yaku, so
Let's listen to
here
the
we go.
officials.
That's your angles.
Okay, so 2's upright, head on head, meets the yellow. So we got foul plays upright, head on head, direct contact, meets the yellow card threshold. Send him to the bunker for field review. Number 2.
Yeah,
Number 2.
I've got the mark for you, mate.
Shota.
Shota Horia is trying to hide. It's not going to work.
Direct head contact, foul play, meet the yellow card threshold.
Yaku, your
Well,
mark
you can
is
see
15 meters in, halfway
bruising
between the 22
appearing.
and the 10-meter line.
Thank you.
Under the left eye socket of
Penalty.
Shota Horia. A horrible clash of heads between he and
Captain
Paia'aua. But he was upright in the tackle, head on head. And this challenge will be reviewed by our foul play review official in what you might hear referred to as the bunker. He or she has 8 minutes to pore over those replays, assess all the footage we can give them, and decide whether that will remain a yellow card or be upgraded to a red and a sending off.
On the
Meantime,
15-meter line.
Shota Horia
15, yeah.
will be parking his backside in a plastic chair.
Yeah,
Go on,
Shota
Mark.
Horia, nice moment, was trying to find the Samoan player just to apologize.
Head clash.
Because it's contact, and really I think what we're looking at here, Rob, what they'll be looking at in the bunker, there's 2 television match officials in there who will be reviewing that action. They're looking at body height and tackling above the ball. His position was just not good going in there, was it, Rob?
No, it's not, and it's becoming quite an interesting coaching angle on this as well, because there's a secondary tackler. Horia was looking to try and target the ball, and if you're staying high and getting your hands in the place to try and grab the ball, you are risking a head-on-head. Players going to have to adjust this, but when we talk about the legacy of spending 15, 20 years learning how to tackle as a secondary player, it's a real area of caution. Players must significantly change their height.
Numbers!
Yeah, we saw 2 in the Uruguay
Six.
Namibia game last night. Transformed that game at the end to get Uruguay the victory.
A few Samoan legends watching from the stands, Jota Kori and Henry Tuolangi among them. Can their boys do the business here? Japan shut them towards the touchline, but now the power comes on. It is an inexorable, inevitable drive to 5 Samoan points. Another maul try for Manu Samoa, and boy, they needed that as Leali'ifano takes the acclaim.
Well, you got the sense it was a much-needed response from the Samoans through their pack. He led the Civitao, the cultural challenge before the game. And now Leali'ifano gets on the back. This trundling drive, well-executed line out. Good take from Uitua. And they bring it down. They just get to work driving the legs. They reposition. And the hooker gets right in the right place. It crabs for a moment, but then they get it going. And I think every Samoan jersey's over the line before he dots down. No question.
A roar of approval from James Lay. That's one for the big boys.
Great position, man.
Yeah, Jamie Angelo Leali'ifano. He never let it out. It falls to the veteran, the reliable Christian Leali'ifano to line up the conversion. He's flirting with the shot clock here. And he's pulled that one wide. Still a 2-score game as we enter the final minute of the first half. 17-8. Japan are in front.
Well, you're under pressure. You've got to go to your most practiced skill set. Not where he wants to be, the scrum half, Kamitani. But he just witnessed a driving ball that is a real weapon for Samoa. They've got to try and utilise it as best they can, and he won't like watching on as well, all right?
Well, they didn't need a scrum half there, did they, Rob? Just pumped it over with the big boys. And the reason Horia's got that red is they're deciding whether that previous challenge will merit a red or stay a yellow card offence.
Deep kickoff from Japan. Stephen Luatua underneath it. former All Black, who has 15 caps for New Zealand. And back to his Samoan heritage. Leali'ifano did a pretty nifty job as a makeshift scrum half. It's a good yardage gain from the box kick. And Japan will throw in for what will be the final play of this first half as the clock enters the red. And of course, with no hooker, they need a makeshift hooker. It's going to be Michael Leach to deputise. There he is, 35 years old. Not sure he's ever thrown into a line-out in a competitive match before. And it's been pilfered. Theo McFarlane, surprise, surprise, at the front, getting one of those extendable arms up to pinch it back. Paia'aua trundles over halfway. Leali'ifano going blind to Luatua. Now Samoa would love another try before the interval. One knock on, one infringement, and we're heading for the sheds. Jordan Dalfour picked up and marched backwards. Leali'ifano, Douala slams the crossfield up and under into the sky. Missed by Ben Lam, kept alive by Manu. Paia'aua can't take it. Japanese advantage. And Nakamura's kick will be taken by Lee. And that will be that for the first half. It's been as tense and as close fought as we expected, but it is Japan with the advantage.
Okay.
4 now, it's 14 against 14. The race for the Rugby World Cup quarter-finals continues to hot up. Will Japan or Samoa take the next step towards the knockout stage? What a pass again from Theo McFarlane. Ball looks like a peanut in his hands. And for once his hands let him down on the hoof.
Double knock.
A long way down from 6'7" tall to scoop that one from around his ankles.
The yellow remains.
Well, I'm sure the lack of precision would have been one of the messages from head coach Mapasua for the Samoan boys. It's a bit of detail, passes like that not going to hand. But it was crucial they scored in those last 5 minutes there to keep in the match. They'll be back to full strength now and actually have a player advantage for a few minutes as Taumataene comes back on the field. These are the offloads that are good when Samoa are going well, but the last one, just too low. The big man can't pick it up. He is a great athlete, but that's too low for him.
Well, with Shota Horie in the sin bin, Japan have to make a change to bring on a recognised and trained front row player for this scrum. So they've sacrificed Johnny Nakamura on the left wing for the time being, and Atsushi Sakate has come on in jersey 16 to spearhead that Brave Blossoms scrummage.
Control.
So as things stand in Rugby World Cup Pool B, Japan moving on to 9 points, the 4-point victory. Samoa would take nothing. They trail by more than 7 points. That's the margin they need for losing bonus points. And at the moment, a Japanese victory guarantees England's last 8 berth. Although it is really just a case of rubber stamping their place in the knockout rounds. Lemeki at first receiver. He has ploughed some deep furrows through the Samoan fields. Saito's box kick. Paia'aua comfortable underneath it. Calls for the mark and doesn't muck around. He has got a siege gun boot, Duncan Paia'aua. And that's a good touch finder.
Yeah, fantastic execution of his skills there, but strange decision from Japan. Won the scrum, hit up midfield, and then just basically gave it right back to him. And they're back where they started.
Japanese halfbacks, that's their scrum half wearing 9, their fly half wearing 10. Kicked the ball 22 times against England in Nice in the last match. That's high. It's very high for Japan in particular. They traditionally do favour that all-court running game. Playing with more pragmatism here. And Saito sends it skywards. McFarlane, who's like a magnet for those high balls, plucks it from the air. Taumataene, Lam, Leali'ifano. A lot of blue off to the right. Manu instead opts to kick. Lemeki fields it quickly. Sends it back downfield. Lemeki gives chase and Lemeki thunders into Jonathan Taumataene. Released and scrambled back to his feet again. To Manu, to Paia'aua. Oh, he's got a mountain of work. That's his 8th carry of the match. Kamatene, Leali'ifano. Sees a bit of space. Wataru Matsushima tracking back. 50-22 is on. And it trickles into the 22. Or was it passed back inside?
No.
The referee's comfortable it was passed back inside.
What a big hit there, though, setting the tone. Kamatene did well to get back to his feet, so it should be a 50-22.
50-22, yeah.
Ball was struck from inside his own half, rolls into the opposing 22.
Come on,
so that means line-out possession is for Blue. Mapusua will be happy, and they're walking to this line-out. Referee urging them to hurry up. They scored their last try off this. This would be a huge moment. 20 meters out.
The World Cup of the 50-22, it's happening.
It's a scrappy Samoan line-outs. But it's won back by Fritz Lee. Kamatene, Leali'ifano, the try scorer. Capped on the Japanese 22. McFarland. Didn't have a rugby ball growing up. Learned the game with an empty Pepsi bottle stuffed with dead banana leaves. All those hours of practice, but Japan over the ball. Japan have the penalty. And Theo McFarland is down, uninjured.
Look at the intensity there. One out ball again. On their feet, arriving. He fights to get there. Holds his own body weight. And there's the celebration. Absolute joy.
Kazuki Himeno, the skipper. What a player he is. Really announced himself to the world 4 years ago in Japan, the last Rugby World Cup. But he is a phenomenon. He is the beating heart of this Japan team.
And what I love about it, he wants to test himself. He wants to get better.
Receiver.
He went down to the Highlanders in New Zealand for that very reason. So he can be better for these kind of moments, those kind of game-changing plays he just made.
First throw for replacement Lucas Takake. Reach off the top. Kamatene comes tearing through and takes out the Japanese player. That's a penalty advantage. Brave Blossoms. Samoa's discipline faltering, and remember, Jonathan Kamatene has already been sin-binned for a fairly similar offence.
Without the ball.
He's got to be careful.
The call's going to be because he came through, tackled a player without the ball. There wasn't much in it. He was taking a gamble. He's an ultimate competitor. He's the 26-year-old, plays for Moana Pacifica.
Yukiya Matsuda propels Japan closer to the Samoan 22. They're about to bring on two new props, Craig Miller and Asaele Aivalu. Readying themselves for action. So too Shota Horie, whose sin-binning period has a few seconds left. Here come Japan. They rev the engine again. Saito. Nakamura introduces Amato Fakatava, who made his debut against Samoa in July.
He fell into it, no foul play.
Big Tonga board, look
no
forward.
foul action, he fell into it.
Saito going blind, introducing Michael Leach. And the cry of Leach from the Japanese supporters whenever he gets hands on ball. Matsuda again, brilliant action on those passes. He does whip them through the fingertips. Good feet from Jaco Piper to avoid being caught in a rather painful Samoan sandwich. Himeno. Saito, Inagaki, that's beautiful soft hands as he was levelled by Lam. Japan on the front foot, Matsuda, Lemeki, Dylan Riley, and now Laboskakni marauding in the wide exchanges. His run brought to a crashing end. Lam misses the turnover opportunity, can't steal the ball back. Michael Leach leaves it, Kazuki Himeno doesn't. Saito, Leach. The phase is mounting. The pressure telling, and then Nakamura spills it in the air. Ed Fido brings it away, but again, Marius Jonker has spotted something he doesn't like. The TMO.
We have foul play. I'm going to show you.
Is that the tackle on the touchline?
Yeah, I'm going to show you the actions of number 11.
Okay.
Blue.
Just step away, please, lads. Just wait a moment, Marius.
Just going to have a little look on the sideline. There was a hint of maybe high contact.
We have to review that tackle over there.
And they're going to review the tackle.
Okay, you can fire it up.
Of the television match official.
All right, here comes the angles.
It's Ben Lam
So it's
on
11 blue.
11 blue.
of Japan.
Here's the other angle. Here we go. Okay, so he's reached the yellow card threshold. He's upright. Agree. Head contact, upright, head contact. He meets the yellow card threshold. All agree. Yeah, that's for the bunker. That's for the bunker. That meets the yellow card threshold, number 11. Number 11.
Ben Lam reluctantly plucks his gum shield from his mouth and trudges towards the naughty step. The foul play review official will assess this tackle
1, 3 and 16
and decide whether it will remain yellow or turn a colour.
Just say that again. 1, 3 and 16.
Scarlet.
1, 3 and 16.
Worrying times for Samoa. Japan have the penalty. And it is Japan now who have the numerical advantage as Shota Horia returns.
Okay. Yep, he's going.
And they replace
7.
both props with Keita Inagaki. Ji-won Gu coming on. Horia returns, which means
And
Johnny
16
Nakamura is back with us.
Thank you.
And Atsushi Sakate retreats to the bench. And Peter Labuskakne is coming off for a head injury assessment. He's trotting down the tunnel just now.
Is it all done?
So applause for those players coming off. There was a groan from the crowd when they saw that high contact. This front row's done their job. We will now sit and watch. Coach Jamie Joseph will be happy. That call went their way.
Center player, it's the HIA player they need to replace. The HIA player.
This is the HIA. We talked about the independent
He's back.
doctors.
Yeah, that was the end of the yellow.
In the booth, having a look to make sure that all the players are looked after, and we are good to go.
So Labuskakne is off for that head injury assessment, which means Warner Derns, this giant lock forward, who's been pulling up trees in the Japanese top league, League One as it's now called, comes on. Ji-won Gu getting the strapping. But Japan go to the corner. They want to press home their advantage. They're not interested in 3 points. They want to try. And here comes the Japanese surge. Looking to return the driving maul compliment. They've got a penalty as well, have the Japanese.
Loose players on the edge. Leave it!
That's a bad mistake from the Samoans. They already had them stopped once, but they swim up the side. And that's the penalty for coming around to the Japanese side. And Rob, that's poor discipline close to the line.
Yeah, they'll know that. Mentioned about how devastating their maul is going forward, but defensively, you've got to be just as on point. Bear in mind, it's a makeshift pack at the moment with injuries coming right through this team. Those combinations all important when it comes to trying to stop a driving maul.
Leali'ifano rallies the troops. Samoa's discipline creaking. 6 penalties conceded now. Another 2 yellow cards. That's 4 in 3 Rugby World Cup matches. And Japan have got that surge on, doing to Samoa what Samoa do to others. The tectonic plates shift as the Japanese pack rumbles. And that is a seismic moment in this Pool D showdown. And it looks like Michael Leach has it again.
Well, the veteran is on the ball, but they're flirting with the sideline. Watch the touchdown. He's going to get right in there. Clear call. Great try for Japan. Well executed. They've lost 2 lineouts in this match. Keep that in mind. This one, no doubt about it. They brought it down. And O'Keefe, look, this is his view right here. Looking for the ball going down over the line. There it is.
We need a change of shirt for number 2, Japan.
Michael Leach appears to have doubled up here. Japan lead by 14 points with a kick to come. 1 more try, and they secure an all-important try bonus point as well. Matsuda from the touchline. Not this time. First miss of the Rugby World Cup for Rikia Matsuda. But Japan now with a handsome lead, a 14-point lead. And Valvasamanaya Sirala Mapusua prepares to bring on some of his biggest beasts up front. Sama Malolo,
1, 2, 3.
Jordan Lee and Michael Alatoa, the co-captain. It's an entire bevy of front row replacements for Manu Samoa. James Lee, Selala Lam, Paul Alo Emile off.
We have a
scoreman's got it
outcome
right,
on the yellow card.
Yes.
All sorts happening here.
So the yellow card has been upgraded to red.
Just
High degree of
confirmation
danger,
there.
no mitigation, direct contact to the
Yellow
head.
card has been upgraded.
Huge news from the bunker.
Captain, we've got an outcome from the bunker. We've got an outcome from the bunker. The yellow card's been upgraded to a red card as high degree of danger and no mitigation.
It's not similar to what they deal with here.
No, it's clear direct head contact, no clear mitigation.
Fritz Lee pleads his case, but that's a massive decision. Ben Lam sent off. Manu Samoa finished this game with 14, and this is why.
I don't think it's similar as the Samoan captain was asking. I think the contact is direct and it's clean. For me, it's different, Rob, than the previous one, which is more awkward, the upright contact.
Still players looking to go above that ball. That's the risk that you run. Labuschagne did dip down a bit into it, but it wasn't enough for the television match officials to suggest it was mitigating.
First red card for Samoa at this Rugby World Cup.
Thanks. Control. Right, set up. Crouch! Outside, inside.
Ben Lam will watch the rest of this match
Fine!
in the shadows of the Samoan technical area. One opportunity for Japan now to take this game by the scruff of the neck. As Dylan Riley sends it on to Lemeki. Hit blocked by Ed Fido. And it did go forwards. And the frustration is building for Samoa. They cannot get a foothold in this match.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can see it on Ed Fido. He wanted to grab that ball and get going. Frustration across the park. But really good work from Japan at scrum time. And the late Booker in Saito. He's been excellent. He runs off the base and he lets the defense give him what they give him. In the last two plays, he's gone wide. They've got good gains as they ship it out wide. And of course, Samoa with only 14 on the field.
Samoa have to be so careful that frustration doesn't lead to yet more ill discipline. They're going to get tired in this last stanza of the game. Japan did all the work, but they're the younger, fitter team.
Fine! Set!
Alto Saito, the smallest man on the field, feeds the scrimmage. 1.65 m, or just under 5 feet 5 inches tall.
Both of them. Might be a foul.
Oh, we often see this at this stage with substitute replacement front row forwards in there. Not the ones that Jakob Piper would have had a conversation with before match and during the first match.
He didn't take the weight. Hit and hold. Consistency. Thank you.
Hit and hold, and then the obligation to take the weight. You can't step away if you're Samoa here.
Argentina take on Chile in their next match in Rugby World Cup Pool D. They were a point behind Samoa and Japan coming into this match. They will be targeting the maximum 5 against their South American rivals. And that would make for a very interesting finale between Japan and Argentina. A potential shootout for a quarter-final spot in Malta
to make the
next Sunday.
Okay, both of you new players.
Well,
We didn't have
all
much
the
trouble
scrum
before
coaches
you.
and the referees around the world. They've been very few resets. It's the second reset scrum. And we practically haven't seen this at all, Rob, in this World Cup. And it's great to keep the game moving, although it's taking a while to get these new boys settled here.
It is. I just think back to Eddie Jones saying the last thing you want to see in a rugby match are people doing the Mexican wave, because it means they're not being entertained on the pitch. But reset scrum's part of it. The collision of these two teams is massive. It's understandable sometimes it doesn't quite remain upright.
Well, if Eddie Jones is concerned about the Mexican wave, that maybe explain a few things. Tough few weeks for him.
Set!
It's been linked with a return to Japan by Australian media. Rumours that he has strenuously denied.
Angle.
And the Japanese pack decimating Samoa.
Just angle.
That is a demolition job.
Yep. Dominance, turn on the angle.
So the referee said dominance and then turned on the angle. I would have argued that was maybe the other way. Samoa were dominating.
Stop.
And they're going to elect to have a shot at goal. And why not? This clock is ticking away. Here we go. The referee saying there was Japanese dominance. Hard to tell, but great shot from the cable cam.
Difficult to see there. It was like a Ouija board sometimes, these forcing the scrums. How are you meant to know if it's sideways or forward movement from one of the teams? But either way, Japan now with opportunity to yet further extend this lead.
It's far side, it's not your side, it's far side.
Matsuda blinks and frowns at the uprights. Deep breaths to steady his heart rate. This for a 3-score lead. Rikia Matsuda nails it. Japan 25, Samoa 8. And look at how special that is for the Japanese faithful.
Well, what a kick from Matsuda. Straight as an arrow. Huge for the fans, but what a lift for his forwards. They know the scoreboard's ticking over, 17 points now. And Samoa are going to have to start to chase this game. That's awkward in the air. Contact.
Oh, Jack Cornelson out McFarland and Theo McFarland in the air.
Good attempt for the ball, both of them.
The two beanpoles collide. Cornelson comes up with a match ball. Noto Saito laces that one into the sky. Dylan Riley knocks it back.
Blue.
And then Talfoa, basketball style
Advantage
to Manu. Paia'aua finds Danny Toala on the outsides. Samoa need a response, and they need one pronto. 3 scores, 17 points behind. Paia'aua straightening, dummying, offloading only to Michael Leach, who is everywhere tonight. Saito calling for that ball to be moved by Lemeki. Big overlap. Lemeki took the pragmatic option. Toala. Oh, have a seat, Danny Toala. Johnny Naikambula melts him. And Japan win the penalty. And Jaco Peipo marches Samoa backwards for a bit of lip.
9.
From Jonathan Talmateni, who really has to be careful. He's conceded 2 penalties since returning from his sin binning.
Yeah, and there was an overlap, and they were calling for it, but it works both ways. If you kick to that side, then the overlap is there. There's more defenders than attackers, and that's what happened. Big tackle.
Jonathan Talmateni.
Yeah, it's just clearly on the ball. There's nothing wrong there.
With the bleach blonde hair.
There was. You got to do the tackle first, but look how many white jerseys arrive. It's 3-1.
8.
And they can't clean them all out.
And 9 as well.
Textbook tackling, and there's a lot of discussion about it. Great work from Japan in defense.
Line's yours. Line's yours.
7 handling errors made by Samoa. They have struggled to retain possession. And now changes made. Shota Horie is off. Tsuji Sakati on it, hooker for Japan. Rani Matavao replaces the indisciplined Talmateni at scrum half for Samoa. And we've got an Alamanda Motuma as well. Japan weaving some pretty patterns as Johnny Naikambula, 19 tries in 25 club matches in Japan. With the charge. Kosuke Himeno dragging Samoans with him.
There's the ball.
Alamanda Motuma thought he'd still win it and will be rewarded with the penalty.
Exposed.
Straight off the bench.
To the side, ball exposed.
That's the kind of impact Mavasa Manaya Silala Mapusua was looking for from his flanker.
Yeah, clock's winding away here, coming up to 60 minutes. Look at this little touch. Well, that's when he got isolated. Nice work from Samoa. Okay, coming up to 60 minutes. Samoa's going to have to a little bit reinvent itself. A little bit of a chat of what tactics are going to put in play. 17 points the gap, and this is really their Rugby World Cup quarterfinal on the docket here.
Great impact from the substitutes as well. Alamanda Motunga, he is an absolute effervescent player when he's on the pitch. He will go all day.
Here's Fritz Lee. Samoa needs some inspiration. Can the captain be the man to provide it? Matavao, lovely pass. Manu splitting Japan up the middle. He's got McFarland with him, but the pass doesn't go to hand. That would have been a wonderful try. Instead, Japan are countering from deep. And here's Riley. Where's a big shot from Luatua?
Release!
Nakamura shackled. Salto. Leali'ifano onto Craig Miller, who's blasted back by McFarland, but the ball has moved on.
It's on.
Japan have an overlap. Lemeki straightening, too quick for Edfido, and then the tap tackle comes in the nick of time. Brilliant recovery work.
I think he's
from Christian Leali'ifano.
Well, this was the half gap. What a work from Milani Matavao. He got through the middle. Offload from Manu doesn't quite go to hand.
Gap, please.
But finally, a line break for Samoa. Good footwork there, just forced the pass for getting to the big man.
Time out. We've got to
Theo McFarland couldn't hold it, and we're going to have a little timeout here. Credit the Japanese getting lots of bodies there, and then they're not afraid to go wide. I think he kept this one. I think maybe he was thinking he should have stayed on the park, kept the pressure on Samoa.
Alamanda Motunga was flying in like a torpedo.
Let's move.
Alamanda Lemeki's fall took him just beneath the lunging Samoan. That would have been a rib tickler.
Numbers.
We pause for the water break on 60 minutes. Players have taken on the hydration.
Listen, fellas, come on. Open up.
Ready to go again. Jack Cornelson watches on. His father was a legendary Wallaby. Scored 4 tries in a match against New Zealand, and young Jack doing the family name proud. Another line-out steal. Here's trouble. Matsushima off on the rampage. Can't do it all on his own. And the flag is up on the far side as Himeno carried on. First glimpse we've had of Kotaro Matsushima in open prairie. That's why they call him the Ferrari.
Gap, please.
Well, that's as good an individual run as we've seen. He's cleaning up at the back, steps 2, and then finds the corners open. Had he scored this might have been the try of the tournament. But they're off and running on Samoa, upping the tempo.
Samoa need to play
again.
Dumua Manu at the heart of their best attacking phases. Here's Michael Ala'alatoa of Leinster, Dublin, Ireland. Matavao, plenty of space in behind Lemeki. Sharp on it, just about clings on to that greasy ball. It's hot and humid here in Toulouse. Lemeki drops one on Manu. He stays in field well. Lee, Ala'alatoa. Backwards he goes. Ferocity of these Japanese hits. They mightn't have the size of the Samoans, but they've got the power. That's brilliant from Paia'aua. Malolo, goose stepping forth. Alain Oese. Driven back by Cornelson, who wraps up that ball. Prevents a crucial offload. Milani Matavao stepping, the 7 specialist, engulfed, flattened. That's Leali'ifano. Big physical mismatch. Here's McFarland. If anybody can haul Samoa back into this game, it's their second row phenomenon. Matavao on the short side to Ala'alatoa. 3 Super Rugby titles with the Crusaders from Canterbury, New Zealand. Jordan Leigh, elder brother of James, the man who replaced Lusa Prop. Leali'ifano, flat pass to Motunga. Motunga releases, gets up, drives again, commits another defender. Matavao with that languid style. It's missed everybody. Ala'alatoa's in real trouble here. He didn't have the pace. Japan do, and Japan are streaking clear. Matsushima's gone. We'll check for a knock-on.
We'll just clear with it. Yep.
But if that was backwards, Kotaro Matsushima,
it comes off blue.
May have settled this game.
Yaku, there's a clear knock-on. You
there
need to
is
come back
going to be
to
a
the knock-on
knock-on
of the white players there.
It did look that way in real
Confirmed
time.
it's off a blue hand, so we go back. Sorry, a white hand, so we go back for a knockout.
Yeah, it did look like. I think even Matsushima knew it. He had the grin on his face. Nice moment to get the crowd on their feet. Fairly clear. So they're trying to clear up that loose ball on the far sideline. Here it is. Chasing through.
No.
On the 10-meter.
There's a white hand on it.
This way or this
Still
way?
in
A blue hand. There's a blue hand, definitely, but a white finger as well.
Tips.
Off of the Japanese hand, yeah.
Oh, that was close. That's a tight head prop's worst
number,
nightmare.
number 4?
Chasing a bobbling ball on the turn with a winger in the centre breathing down your neck.
Japanese 10-meter.
Yeah.
And Japan are going to bring on Warner Dearns for Jack Cornelson, who's had such a fine game today.
As the players come on. Jamie, just the tightness of this Japanese team. Look at it there. It sort of symbolized where the players are. They came together, their messaging, their next play. The Samoans have been really disparate, been spread out a lot more and not quite as tight. Yeah, it didn't look right at first. Nice offload again from Leach.
Michael Leach has such a nose for opportunities. He follows the ball around like a bloodhound.
Okay. Quick moment.
Whenever there's a significant piece of play, you can bet the Japanese warhorse has had something to do with it.
Well, for me, two of the best Japanese players out here, the two 34-year-olds, Michael Leach and, indeed, Lamano Lavalameke. Outstanding contributions from both of the senior vets.
Michael Leach top of the tackle charts as well, by the way. He's made 16. Japan doing a lot of defensive work. 43% possession. Attempted close to 150 tackles. They're going to have to defend some more here. 14-man Samoa up against it. Fighting the odds, but still with plenty of juice in their boots. Fritz Lee around the corner he goes. And Samoa going route one. Brian Alainoese. Whoa, look at the big horse in the second row, committing men, sucking Japanese defenders inexorably inwards. Remember Manu Samoa with Ben Lam sent off, playing a man down, opting to use that brute physicality. They've got a penalty advantage. McFarland slips the offload away. Leali'ifano to within a metre. McFarland goes again. Blindside, try time. Duncan Paia'aua. Game on.
Well, the 14 men of Manu Samoa have given themselves a chance. Well-worked try. Finally, they got an incursion through the middle of this Japanese defense. It was pounding, running the big men, carrying hard. Look at that, bouncing tacklers. Finally, some go forward. That's been the issue today. Japanese defense has just been too tight, stepping out of one, and then as they trundle 10 meters out, nice little offload there. Patient enough to flip it out wide, calling for it, clapping his hands. A low dive, fullback. Duncan Paia'aua does well to score it, goes low, Rob. Doesn't give him a chance to get under the ball.
And how about Jamie calling it as well? If someone was going to make a difference, it was McFarland. 2 interjections in that phase of play. Special human, but also incredible rugby player.
You wouldn't think Theo McFarland had only just returned from a debilitating anterior cruciate ligament damage to his knee. This 6 months of the English Premiership season with Saracens hasn't missed a step. Every point crucial now. Every kick important. Leali'ifano from the touchline. Up go the flags. There's the lift Manu Samoa needed. And suddenly, it's a 10-point game again.
Never back on side.
Big men carrying the ball. The offloads that actually go to hand this time. And the awareness to flip it out, doing all the work. Theo McFarland digging it out.
Second try for Samoa. And as they say across the Samoan Islands, that was Seki Samoa. Fritz Lee moves it for Motuma.
Outside. Use the ball.
Back rows and the tight forwards that did the damage. Theo McFarland, of course, allying power to all court skill. And forward they come again. Alatoa helping out this time. Melani Matavao. Leali'ifano under pressure, gets the kick away. 3 blue-shirted chasers. McFarland up there again, and it just went forwards through his hands. It's not a bad tactic when you've got a 6'7" basketball behemoth who can run as quick as most backs and can jump higher than anybody else, looming in Lomano Lemeki's wing view mirror.
He lost the rebound there, but this really is a game of inches. Very good. Had he held that,
do that again.
It was all on.
Okay. Give it a try.
I can feel there's going to be a Theo McFarland reel after this game. He is doing so much positive stuff in the air, around the base. Start in the making.
Square.
Lomano Lemeki, key man for Japan. First start in an international match in 23 months.
Too much weight.
Well, you heard it from our referee, too much weight from the Samoans, coming through too early.
Going forward. It's after the hit.
See the bent arm as a free kick. So Japan will most likely choose another scrum, and they have.
Well then.
There's big Warner Derns peering out from beneath that.
Just control the work after the hit, not before the hit.
He's got serious sporting pedigree.
Both of you, go back to my mark. Thank you.
Moved to Japan as a young boy, as a teenager, because his dad, Grant, was a strength and conditioning coach who got a job at one of the top teams in Japan. Stood out. Played for Japan before he'd actually played a pro club match. His mum, Tanya, was an international netballer for the Silver Ferns of New Zealand.
How about scoring a try in his debut against his birthright nation, New Zealand? Amazing.
And it's Japan with the squeeze on, pulverising Samoa at scrum time. They've got a penalty advantage. They can use the wide men. Naikambona chipping and chasing. Naikambona gathering. The offload not quite there, but Japan comes steaming into Samoan territory. A try here would surely kill it. And bag a bonus point. Dares the juggernauts. Another penalty advantage to Japan. Kazuki Himeno. 3 meters out. Saito, Matsuda, Matsushima's in the line. Can he conjure more wizardry? McFarland twirls him down. Naikambona dumped. Japan still have the overlap on that right-hand side, but they won't get the chance to use it just now.
Well, the entire stadium's just taking a deep breath there. What a counter-attack from Japan. We talked about the skill set of the technical presence of this Japanese team in every phase. Watch as they ship it wide. Naikambona, nothing on here, so he simply puts it on his left foot in full stride, gathers in full stride, and keeps possession, stays on the park, keeps the pressure on Samoa. That's the skill level that Japan's executed here.
Japan are going for the jugular. They want to kill off Samoa's World Cup hopes for the 3rd tournament in a row.
Receiver. Okay.
They beat them in 2015 by 38 points to 19. They beat them in 2019 by 26 points to 5. They feel victory is at hand. Samoa on the ropes, but coming up with a big defensive play. And guess who? Fritz Lee, the thorn in Japanese sides in that maul.
Will Samoa choose not to compete here? Maybe has to watch on at this stage. He'd love to be in the middle of that scrum.
There you go. That's yours. That's yours. All in. Hook is in.
Samoa scrum has creaked and creaked
Stability.
in the second half.
Control.
Japan's props, Craig Miller, and Leali'ifano off the bench. One reared in New Zealand, the other reared in Samoa's Pacific Island counterparts and rivals Tonga. Have done some heavy damage up front. It's more wicket from Samoa, and Matavao introduces Manu.
No hand! No hand! Works for him.
14-man Samoa must score twice to pull this game back from the brink, to preserve their flickering quarter-final hopes.
Use that.
Matavao, Leali'ifano in the pockets, steers it into touch, but he had no angle to work with, no time to get the kick away. And Japan can turn on the squeeze once more.
You can read his face there, he knows that's not enough. And here comes the big beef. Fumai coming off the bench, looking for anything. This reconstructed back line, they're going to have to loosen things up here in the final 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, Edfido hasn't had the kind of impact that he is capable of, that he would have wanted. Keen country and western guitar player is beating a path to the sheds as Nerea Fumai comes on wearing 23. Michael Leach, who else wins the line out? Jimeno passes to himself.
Tackle release now. No.
Might be untidy, it might be slow, but at the moment it's slow poison. Japan are seeping through Samoan veins. Another try, and they have their precious bonus points. Matsuda's pass behind Matsushima, and he can make a cake with the meagerest of crumbs. Big shot coming in from Matavao and from Lee, but Japan play on, and Valu goes in. Oh, Samoa in fringe again. Japanese penalty. What will the decision be here? The penalty, kick at goal, takes them to 13 points, but Samoa could still snatch it with 2 converted tries.
And he hits the receiver.
Let's go. A bit of a debate midfield, and they are going to take the post. So they've got 3 tries up on the board. It would have been a bonus point had they scored a 4th.
Okay.
Perhaps a driving line out. This could be a big moment here.
I'll go to the next round. It's fine.
What a moment indeed. Kenta Fukura went to come on for his international debut. But first, Ikia Matsuda has to get the big boys out of the way first. Never helpful, Gareth, as a kicker when your forwards are standing directly in the way of your lineup.
Especially if they're giving you the importance of this needing to go through the middle of the posts and other intelligent things like that. But Matsuda's boot's been really important here. He's kept the scoreboard ticking over.
Ikia Matsuda plays an imaginary accordion. Tension sky high. Matsuda unerring. Another blow struck by the fly half. 13 points the difference. 5 minutes left. Samoa need a miracle. And those changes are now being made. Yoto Nakamura off, Tomoki Osada on. And Michael Leach, the great Michael Leach, scoring tries again in the World Cup, is replaced by Kanji Shimokawa, wearing jersey 20. And on for his international debut, Fukura for Naoto Saito. Incredibly special moment for Fukura. First Japanese player to make his debut at a World Cup for 16 years. First actions to get charged down, but there was a knock-on advantage. Just as we were getting him the big billing, Theo McFarland welcomes him to Test rugby.
Yeah, we relieved there was a call there. Michael Leach has put in a massive effort, as he always does. Fantastic performance by him and his teammates up front. Number 8, Himeno, was immense as well.
There we go.
Michael Leach still the top tackler, 18 he's made, 7 carries for 60 metres as well.
That's why he's in my fantasy team. Once again, accruing some monster points for me. Thank you very much, Michael.
Arigato gozaimasu. You want to greet him properly, Rob? 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Samoa need 2 converted tries. They've got a penalty. That'll do them for starters. And they quickly point towards the corner.
Drop to the floor, flat now.
Leali'ifano will do the necessary. It's not too close to that corner flag. Halfway inside the 22. Samoa have a chance. A faint chance, but a chance nonetheless.
Well, as they huddle walking this line out here, acutely aware of how many high numbers are in that forward pack. All the combinations are gone. Both the starting locks were lost early on. See if they can put it together here. 15 meters to gain.
Do it again.
Do it again. Not happy with the gap.
Yes. Relax.
Samamalolo, huge pressure on his shoulders. He's not happy with the distance, the regulatory meter between the 2 packs. Malolo's throw, awkwardly taken by Luatua.
Yes.
Fitzley gets it back to Leilani Makavao, the 7 specialist. They need some 7s-inspired magic.
No hand!
Leali'ifano, Aranoese. Here it comes, Aratoa to Malolo, who is taking bodies. 10 metres out. Matavao, McFarland. That's who they want on the ball. Matavao again, quickly away. Penalty advantage Samoa. Matavao, Alamanda Matula. The 2 7s veterans combined. Matavao's bringing such tempo, but can't run without his legs. Still it's there for Samoa and Tumua Manu.
Last 8 note.
Alatoa has to go it alone. Japan quickly over that ball. A bit of obstruction there, so Jakob Paia'aua will bring them back to the Japanese offside. Samoa need to go quickly, 2.5 minutes.
Matavao and Mutunga transform this attack. Here they go.
Malolo trucking it ever closer. It's now or never for Samoa. 2 minutes 20 on the clock. Leali'ifano! Manu Samoa clinging on. They're coming back from the brink. And they will have a chance to pluck this from the fire.
We mentioned they'd had a totally different look. They've upped the tempo. They're tapping and going. They're stepping out of Japanese tackles. Leali'ifano gets the score and the extras added.
It's going to be a grandstand finale in Toulouse. Leali'ifano's kick makes it a 6-point game.
He's hit by 3 Japanese men, but reaches out, rides the tackle. Good work to get under the arms of the Japanese tackler.
This has been a blockbuster game in the south of France. And some cramp evident in Samoan legs.
How about that decision by Japan to kick the 3 points, keep that gap at 6 here, otherwise the penalty would get him there.
And this is how Pool D looks as things stand. This is taking into account the current score here in Toulouse. Japan moving from 5 points to 9 points. Samoa on 6 with a losing bonus points because of the 6-point margin between the teams. And as things stand, England would qualify if Japan hold out here. Manu Samoa will have something to say about that.
Both sides with 3 tries up on the board as well, so any score here in the final 2 minutes will get a bonus point to add to the victory.
One last effort required for Tumua Manu. Samoa gunning to keep the Rugby World Cup hopes ablaze. They've used all the replacements, Manu Samoa. So Manu has to play. He's going to soldier on one leg. Lemeki hammers the restart deep. And Samoa scrambling to get it back. 1.5 minutes to play. Manu Samoa must go from deep. And Foma'i makes the first incision. Matavao going blind to Paia'aua. 80 metres out. Down to 14 men. Manu Samoa cannot afford an error or an infringement. Leali'ifano to Paia'aua. There's Toala off the bench, running freely. Japan will target them at the breakdown. They will try and get their jackals, their attack dogs, over the ball and steal it back. 45 seconds left.
Right.
Matavao. Tuala onto one of the big boys. Anatoa was in there.
Ball's out, yes.
Jordan Lee. Can Samoa conjure the amazing? They've got a penalty. That's going to get them some yards.
For me, Samoa needs the ball.
Beyond the ball.
In Matavao and Matonga's hands. They're the ones who are unlocking this Japanese defense.
Made him strong beyond the ball.
Jamie, as you said, all of this great work, this great pride being displayed by only 14 Samoans on the park. Yeah, this could be their last moment. 80's up on the board, but because the penalty's awarded, they're going to have a chance to execute this lineup. Yeah, we're all praying here, the Samoan fans, reaching for the divine intervention here. Can they do this?
Manu Samoa said this week, the world has not seen the best of them. Well, the rugby world is watching now. The game dangling on the knife edge, and Japan have stolen the lineouts. They just need to get the ball off the pitch. Fukura hasn't realised it, but Sun Lee has. Japan take a big step on the road to the quarter-finals.